Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the Cromwell Berlin, or the Berlin Cromwell, or the Cromwell B, or the Bromwell as I've also heard it called. So yeah, here we are. It's one of the reward tanks from the Beasts of Prey op, so you can get this for free, or you can actually pick it up in the store in various bundles, and I think it is coming on its own as well. But if it's there for free, you might as well try and earn it. So I've mentioned before in the overview that this is basically, again I'm a bit split with this. It's nice that you can earn it for free, but I'm a little disappointed in some ways. I kind of like the Cromwells. I'm not very good in them, and to be honest, the only Cromwell I've really been in recently is the Snakebite. So I don't mind admitting that I've struggled slightly in this one at first because I was sort of almost trying to drive it like I would a snakebite, and yeah, it doesn't quite work, so you can't quite get away with it. So yeah, but essentially what you've got is a fully upgraded Cromwell, but a premium version. It does look quite nice though, like I say, and it's it's almost exactly the same as the Cromwell Knight as well. So that's why in some ways I'm a little bit disappointed by it, because I was just hoping it would be slightly different in some way from one of those at least. And although technically you can say, well, it is different from the Knight, yeah, slightly, but only very, very slightly. And it is different from the full upgraded Cromwell, and again, kind of is, yeah, but slightly. Although it is fairly good difference from the normal Cromwell. But yeah, it does look nice. Now, interestingly enough, you can put camouflage on this. It is not permacamo, which, some people are going to like that. I'm slightly disappointed in that. I was hoping this was a permacamo because it does look really nice. The colour of it is quite a nice, accurate colour. I think historically accurate, and I think this is modelled on one that was actually part of the Desert Rat units, or the Desert Rats unit. Sorry. So it does look quite nice, and I kind of wish it was permacamo. It doesn't bug me that much, but I do kind of wish it was permacamo. But I know there's going to be some people happy that you can actually put camo on it, although most of them don't really suit it, in my opinion. But again, just my opinion. Now, the Knight is worth mentioning. I've not got it here. It's on my other account on my PlayStation, but this is exactly the same as the Cromwell Knight. I've mentioned it in the overview, apart from the fact that this has a worse aim time but a better accuracy. The Knight's aim time, I think, is 1.9 seconds, or maybe 1.7. It's 1.7 or 1.9. I think it might be 1.9. But the accuracy is 0.41. This gets the same aim time and the same accuracy as a fully upgraded Cromwell with the long 75mm. But along with the Knight, this actually, the model shows the short 75mm, which is again more historically accurate. To the actual look of the Cromwell. I'm not sure if they ever had the long 75 that we actually get in game. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on this. But that's why I'm slightly disappointed, because it's virtually, apart from the aim time and the accuracy, it's the same as the Knight. It gets that increased hull traverse over a standard Cromwell, and apart from the increased hull traverse, it is exactly the same as a standard Cromwell. So in a lot of ways, it is just a reskin, but almost a mix of two of the Cromwells we already have in game, the Tech Tree and the Knight. It's sort of an in-betweener, which is again a bit odd. But let's have a look at it anyway. So you get the 650 engine, which is the top engine, the 75mm gun Mark V, but it's got the stats of, like I say, I can't remember if that is the top gun, the name of the top gun on the Cromwell, sorry, but it gets the stats of it, although I think the dispersion values might be different, but we don't have those. So you get 15.38 rounds a minute rate of fire, 145 pen, 135 damage, 202 on your premium, again 135, and then 38, 175 on your HE shells, which is, the HE is pretty standard for your 75mm HE. Aiming time 2.3 seconds, so again, like I said before, it is worse than the Knight, but that's the same as it is on a fully upgraded Cromwell. Accuracy at 0.36, better than the Knight's at 0.41. Exactly the same as the Tech Tree Cromwell at 0.36. 50 degrees of hull traverse, exactly the same as the Knight. 14 degrees faster than a fully upgraded Cromwell Tech Tree one. 48 degrees on the turret, which is the same as both of those. 360 view range again, same, and I think the signal range is possibly the same. Definitely is the Knight. I'm not sure about the Tech Tree one there. So there isn't a great deal to say about it. It's a Cromwell, but with, you know, premium bonuses and better hull traverse. 100, nice and cheap on your armor piercing. 100 silver per round. 2,800 or 2,800 for your APCR. 56 for your high explosive. I don't bother with the high explosive on this. I just don't really see the point. I've been quite boring with the consumables on this. You could put pudding tea on instead of the fire extinguisher. You don't tend to get set on fire too often in them, but that's really down to personal preference. With it being a lone tank, I just, you know, put the basics on there. Equipment wise, again, I've kind of gone for my standard sort of medium tank setup: coated optics, gun rammer, and gun laying drive. You can't put a vertical stabilizer on here. I think it would probably be a bit OP with vertical stabilizer, but yeah, the gun laying drive does help. The aiming time does feel a bit lengthy, even with the gun laying drive, and putting in T would obviously help with that. But again, I've not got a particularly skilled crew. This is on Xbox, so it's a very basic crew. So all I've got is camouflage, but obviously you want sixth sense. You don't need anything like, you don't really need clutch braking on this, but maybe off-road driving. Definitely smooth ride would help. Brothers in arms, obviously that's, you know, a pretty standard one to put on, but yeah, sixth sense, brothers in arms, camouflage, smooth ride I would say helps. You do spend a lot of time on the move in this. I can't really think of many others that sort of be a necessity on this, to be honest. But there's normally, you know, that's what I like about, you know, you guys, my community. You all put your suggestions in the comments as well with equipment and stuff, like, you know, what works for you, because different people have different styles, and what general, you know, what works for me equipment wise may not necessarily work for somebody else who plays differently. So yeah, I do appreciate it, and I do sort of flick through the comments as well every few days. I'll go back over the last few videos and sort of read through a lot of the comments, so thank you for leaving them still. So yeah, that's it really skill wise. Bonuses, by the way, same as you get on the night. Not great bonuses, I've got to admit. 25 silver and 30% XP, so yeah, not brilliant on the bonuses. To be honest, I don't know, I've just got it into my head for some reason that it seems a bit low even for a, you know, for a tier 6 premium medium. I've just got it into my head that is a bit low for that. Max speed is 64 km an hour, same as Cromwell, same as the Knight. Concealment 0.25 stationary, 0.19 on the move, and again, I think that's the same as a normal Cromwell, less than the Knight, because the Knight has perma camo. This doesn't. Power to weight ratio of 23.23, same as a Cromwell, same as Knight. 20% chance of fire, which is kind of surprising on 20 km in reverse as well, by the way, because like I say, I don't really tend to get set on fire that much in this, but it's just at the back there, you know, taking up most of the rear of the tank behind the turret. Gun, 15 degrees of elevation, which has always been a bit of an issue on Cromwells. You know, anything gets above you, sometimes it can be a problem, but you get 8 degrees of gun depression. Not as good as a lot of the British tanks, but still more than enough to work. You know, you can use that, that's workable with the 8 degrees, but like I say, it's just not as much as some of the other British tanks. And again, it's pretty standard to the Cromwell. You do get some great terrain resistances on here though, 0.5, 0.6 and 1.5. Now that is something I have forgot to check. I've been so concerned about checking them out on the Revelorize and the Super Sherman. They do seem really, well, they are fantastic values. I'm not entirely sure if that's the same as on the Knight or as on the standard Cromwell. I'm not too sure. That might be a bit of a difference with this one. That's something I'm gonna have to look into. And I'll look into it for when I do the Revelorize, or I'll try and look into it for when I do the gameplay bits for this, and try and let you know on that one, because they are very good, and they do seem as though they should be better, possibly. Turret on top, radio in the back, again standard placement for most of the British vehicles and a lot of the Americans as well. Ammo blocks, they actually stretch across the tank, so you've not really got much to shoot at sort of sideways on, and you have to try and hit them at an angle, but they are basically at the front and the back of the turret down in the hull, so it just gives you an idea of where to aim for. I don't know if I've ever had mine damaged through the front, but that looks like it could be a possibility. Crew members 5, 3 in the turret. You've got driver, hull machine gunner down in the hull there, and then commander, gunner and loader up in the turret. And then armour wise, again, same as a Cromwell, so there's not really much to say. 64 on the front of the hull, 76 on the front of the turret. 43 on the side of the hull, 64 on the side of the turret, and then 57 on the rear of the turret, 32 on the rear of the hull. Again, same as a Cromwell. There's not much really to say about it other than that. It's you know, a Cromwell. So the armour, you can get the odd lucky bounce from lower tiers and things like that, and sometimes when you're using your gun depression, but it's a pretty standard tank, as you know, it's in the game already essentially, and has been for a while in, you know, one of two forms. So a lot of people are going to be used to this. You know where to pen Cromwells, you know where to hit them, you know how to use them when you're in them, that sort of thing. So, you know, 1 to 20, top deck, top of the turret, tracks, hull floor, 21 to 30, upper and lower glacis, very well angled on the upper though, so you can bounce a few off there. But again, you know, you've got that really flat part just behind it as well, so, you know, again, you know what you can do in Cromwells. There's going to be not really any surprises with this one to a lot of people. And, you know, you can... I was side scraping in this yesterday, in fact, when I was getting a bit of footage and stuff. So, you know, it can be done. It's you've got to be a little bit careful. 31 to 50, sides and the rear of the tank as well. 51 to 70 is basically the turret all round, and your flat parts on the front of the tank, so where the driver's viewport is and also where the upper and lower glacis join. And then 71 to 90, front of the turret and your very, very small commander's hatch. I mean, generally, you know, most people aren't going to struggle to get through a Cromwell, but a good place... Well, I always thought a good place was actually just next to the gun where the machine gun is on the turret, because they are mantleless. But that just seems as thick as anywhere else. But generally, you know, you go for the hull. The flat parts on the hull are probably your best bet from the front. If you can't get through the turret, if you are a lower tier tank, anything sort of same tier and higher tier generally doesn't have any problem penning a Cromwell though. Sort of, you know, if it's coming at them front on and what have you. So you don't have to think about your placement and use your ridges, that sort of thing. But I think enough for me rambling on. It plays up to tier 8, by the way. Enough for me rambling on. Let's get into the replays and see how it actually handles. Right, so here we are for the first of the replays, and I did say in the garage I've been trying to play this a bit like the Snakebite, because that's the only Cromwell I've been in recently, and that's kind of what I do in this one. So not a great result, but it was fun, and you know, I just thought I'd stick it in anyway to sort of show you what kind of crap I've been up to recently in this. The next one's a bit better though, and sort of played a bit more properly, but yeah, like I say, I'd been used to playing the Snakebite, and it can't quite do the same things that that can. This can do, you know, different things. The gun's got more pen for one. But anyway, here we go. And yeah, I know this should have gone up yesterday. It's going up, well, it'll be going up when it's up this afternoon, and it's just been a bit tricky recently, with the kids being off school as well. But it's yesterday there was opticians appointments for my wife and 2 of my kids, and just sort of routine check-up things, you know, that sort of stuff. And so that really didn't leave a great deal of time. And a lot of you will probably know that I'm on morphine for pain relief at the moment, morphine tablets, which are pretty horrible. And I've been on them for quite a number of years, so, you know, they have a lot of downsides as well to your health. And I'm going to go back and try and help the TD. There's a, is that a Type T34? T34? I think it might have been, or just a T34 I've got around behind him anyway, he's done. But yeah, so to get off that, sort of trying a cocktail of painkillers instead, that singly, you know, wouldn't really work, but together, combined, hopefully will have the desired effect. But I have to take them at very regular intervals, and I have to take the last lot at midnight and the next lot at 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I've been pretty tired and trying to get used to that sort of routine. So, but anyway, it's going up now. Managed to take down that T3485, was it? And then spin around and put one in the backside of that light tank. I think that was a Crusader, possibly. But anyway, regardless, he's now dead, whatever he is. Now there's a KV85 over there, and this is when I start sort of doing what I would try and do in the Snakebite, but I think I've tried to do it, 1, too early, and 2, this is not a Snakebite. But I was lucky that I hit that tree, because it slowed me down enough for him to miss. It actually went too front, but then I'm taking a bit of a beating from other things around beside me. Now, one thing about this, and I think it is in general, I remember from the normal Cromwell as well, but it's been a while since I've been in one. They're not particularly good at firing on the move. They have quite a large dispersion sort of circle. And I don't know if that is just for this one with it having the short barrel. Maybe that's the difference between that sort of and the long barrel. It's the dispersion values. I'm not entirely sure. Don't have access to the dispersion values, so I couldn't say. But yeah, I just thought I'd put that one in just to show you what I'd been up to in it, and not doing particularly well. No, it was not too bad, 3 kills. But yeah, it's not quite the snakebite. That's got a lot more top speed and better power to weight ratio as well. So, but like I say, I thought it was good fun, so I thought I'd include it in there. Now, a few of you may have noticed recently, you've seen me on one of the Batman games, probably on PS3. That's not actually me. I played that a long time ago and finished that. It's actually my youngest son has been playing it recently. He loves DC Comics and everything. So he's been playing Batman Arkham Origins, but he's been doing it on my profile because of the extras and stuff, and because of which PS3 is playing it on, you see. So if you send me a message because you see me on that and I don't respond, I'm not being ignorant. It's because it's not me. It's actually my youngest. But anyway, back to this one, second replay for you. This one is a tier 7 match, I think it is. Prokhorovka. And I'm basically going to go straight forwards and try and do some early spotting from the centre. And I do have good gun depressions, hopefully I might even be able to get a bit of damage done. But I'm going to stay back a little bit, sort of, pop up, do a bit of spotting, put shots in where I can, but I'm not going to take any risks until probably the sort of second part of the game, or at least a bit further in. And now there's a Comet over there, managed to get a hit into the side of him. I'm going to back off. Now don't forget with this, and with the Revelorize review as well, when that comes up, I've got no skills on this crew. I think it's a British crew that I had on my Xbox account anyway, but I've not really got any. It's the only British crew I had, and I think it's about 60% camo on it, and that's your lot. So it does make it somewhat more difficult because you've not got Sixth Sense. But it's, this is just kind of how it is out of the box. Obviously I've stuck equipment on it, but there's no skills or anything on there. So that's why I'm, not quite going to take the risks, because obviously I don't know when I'm spotted until something is looking at me. And yeah, then it's sometimes too late. There are also 3 arty, so that's why I'm sort of snaking and changing directions and reversing. So once I've been spotted, I don't want to go back just in a straight line. There's that Comet again. Now I'm taking a bit of a risk staying there because I've been spotted. There was nothing over on my left that could have hit me apart from arty that I knew of. And I had a feeling that's what it was, but try not to be predictable when you're reversing as well. Try and, don't change directions in a predictable pattern. Try and sort of mix it up a little bit. Because if you just go straight back or doing a predictable pattern, will just predict, so sort of go back and just swerve around a little bit, and it'll try and throw arty off a bit. And that's what I'm doing there. But with 3 of them in play, yeah, it's a dangerous position to be in, especially being so open as well. Now that KV-1 up there, it looked like he fired HE at me and I didn't quite get a shot onto him for the kill. Somebody else took him out, but I got assisted from it. And now there's a BDR as well, tier 5, and he just got arted. So he's done, although something's looking at me, and where I am, that's probably going to be, yep, good old arty. Now, where to go? There's a light tank. I was going to go over that Boilermaker and see if I could do something about him. This T-37 pops over. And I was going for the ram, but I wasn't quite quick enough. Still not taking any damage though. I've been very lucky to have hit the tracks so far. That shot from the Boilermaker earlier was very lucky, that it didn't actually go through, and secondly that it didn't knock my tracks off. And I'm not going to go straight over at him. I'm going to just see what's what. Just try and gauge if there's anything there. There's still quite a few tanks on the enemy team. There's 4 TDs knocking about somewhere. Not sure where they are, and there's those 3 arty that are sort of an ever-present threat. Now there's one of the TDs, and there's the heavy. So it's Churchill, and we've got a damaged Hellcat as well. That Boilermaker's still over there somewhere, but that Churchill's taking a beating, so I'm going to go for the Hellcat. I'm going to try and take him out with a ram if I have to. And again, very lucky, just hit the tracks. Managed to take him down, and I think the damage there was from the ram, possibly. I don't know if he got a shot off just to hit him. Managed to take down the Churchill 7 with some help. He did take a bit of a beating there as he came from me. Not sure if it was Arty entirely. And then one of the other TDs, the T25AT, he's just taken my commander down, so I'm going to duck down on this side, which is, well, I'm going a bit quicker than I can talk. I ducked down on that side to get under his gun, basically. I knew the direction of where he was, managed to get under his gun, took a risk coming up over there, but it paid off, and jinked the other way. And that's what's so nice about having really good hull traverse, is you can do that little jink, you know, as you're going towards them. Got a bit of a lag spike there, but took him out in the end. I wasn't quite sure if I died as well at the same time. That was a bit bizarre, and I just don't get the lag spikes on PlayStation. I'm not entirely sure why. But now, the Boilermaker's made his way back down there. There's one of the arty, one's been taken out. Trying to fire on the move, but it's, to be honest, it's a bit in vain because this thing is really quite poor at hitting things on the move. Try and get a shot into the Boilermakers that go past, and just tracked him. Arty's done. Oh, there's the other one. Can I land on him or ram him? And no. And take a big hit from him. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah, I just got spanked. Ah dear, if that had worked, that would have looked quite nice, you know, landing on the arty. I probably still would have got taken out by the Firefly, but, you know, these things happen. But there you go, not a bad little round in the end. A few ops done, well, a couple of ops done, and then I think it was 5 points. Not a great amount of damage myself. But don't forget it's 135 per shot, but, you know, combined it's getting on for 3,000. Well, more like just over 2,500, but yeah, it put me at the top of the table. So not a bad match all round, to be honest, and quite enjoyable. But there you go, the Cromwell Berlin. I don't, like I say, I don't really know what more to say about it. It's a Cromwell with better hull traverse. That's your lot. Or it's a knight with worse aim time and better accuracy. Whichever way you want to think about it, there you go. There it is. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that nonetheless. I hope it's been informative for you, and I shall be back, well, in a little bit with the Revelorize review. I've just got to put that together and commentate. So until then, take care then. I'll catch you next time. See you later.